welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a very big book haul. So basically I am back at my parents' house, and so I don't have like my normal book selection with me, so I've been buying books. But the problem with that is I've only been here for like 3 weeks and I can't read all the books that I wanted to in that time. So here's all the books that I have, and I'm gonna have to leave some here because I'm not gonna bring that across the country with me again. And I live in a New York City apartment that does not have the space for that. But anyway, let's get into it. So this is the pile of books I've bought in like the last 3 weeks, and then some that I've had in my house that I have bought but didn't bring back with me to New York. So we're gonna see how many I can read through in these next couple weeks. Okay, so the first one is The Cloisters by Katie Hayes. So this book is one of the books that I've had for a while and I have not read it. So Anna goes to New York City and she goes and studies at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And basically she meets this group called The Cloisters, and that's really all I know about this book. And I think there's like, it's like a mystery YA, I'm guessing, from the sounds of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna try and read this while I'm home because it cannot sit on my TBR forever. Alright, and the second book is a book I just recently bought, A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I have heard really great things about this. I think it's a trilogy. Yeah. And so I think they're at a boarding school, and basically they start with like a big class, and by like the end of like high school ends, like there's only like 10 people standing or something like that. Yeah, so basically like there's like a whole bunch of monsters that they're fighting while they're in the school. So it kind of gives me like the Atlas 6 kind of vibes. But I really want to read this, and this is like such a fall read. Like being back in school and like boarding school gives me like those fall vibes. So I'm really excited to read this. Alright, and here is another book that I have had on my TBR for about like 2 years now. So that's lovely. And I think, so it's The Cousins by Karen McManus. And I think this is the author of, what's that book called? You know what book I'm talking about. The very popular Book Talk book. Millie, Aubrey, and Jonah don't know each other, but they're all cousins. So basically there's this grandma that none of them knew, and so they go and get a mysterious note from their grandma, and they have to go over the summer to see her, and basically they learn a whole bunch of things about their past. I actually haven't heard a lot about this. I know I put this on my TBR. Oh! The book is right here. One of us is lying. Okay, let's do Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I have seen the hype about this book. I am so excited to read this book. I'm so excited. Like, this will get me into the fall mood. I know it. I've heard if you like the Hunger Games or fantasy or whatever, like, this is the book for you, especially if you liked Fourth Wing. I loved Fourth Wing, so I'm so excited to read this. There are elites and ordinaries, and what's her name? Peyton is an ordinary, and basically she has to go into these trials and meets I think like the king's son, and he basically kills ordinaries, and like they interact a lot, and I heard like that's like where the romance sets off, is like between them. So I'm really excited to read this. Yeah, I've heard great things. This is a long book too. I think it's like 500. I don't want to. Yeah, I think it's around 500. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I'm just not gonna do that. On to the next book is a new release, Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. This is the third book in the Knock 'Em Out series, and I am so excited to read Lucian and Sloane's story. Like, I think everyone can agree that we have been waiting for their story. I'm also really excited about this. I think this is also really long. Like, I feel like my one pet peeve with romance books sometimes is that they're too long, and I think that's what I didn't like about the first book of this, was that it was just so long. Like, Nash and Lena's story I did like a lot more, but I'm really excited for this. And I think that, so this is like an enemies to lovers, and I feel like it's also like childhood friends because they knew each other from their childhood. So I am very, very excited to read this. This will be one of the first things I will read. I just got this maybe a couple days ago, and also at Barnes & Noble I found it, and it has a little signature from Lucy Score, so that I will be taking back. Alright, the next book is Maybe Meant to Be. So this is the author from What Happens at Midnight and The Summer of Broken Rules, and I really enjoyed both those books. Like, I love having a YA as kind of like a palate cleanser to all like the fantasy or kind of like dark academia books that I read. So this one is also at a boarding school, kind of like What Happens at Midnight. So Charlie and Sage are best friends, and Charlie starts to have a thing for Luke, and Sage starts to have a thing for Charlie's brother. I think this will just be kind of like a nice little palate cleanser YA read. Like, these are always like so easy to get through. They're like maybe 300 pages, so I'm really excited to read this. I don't know when this was released. Like, I literally just found this at Barnes & Noble and picked it up. So I don't really know. I feel like this might have been like she re-released it in a different cover. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Next book I got is Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. So this is the second book in the Renegade series. I loved the first book. I believe I gave that like 4.25 stars. And it's about Nova, who is a superhero, and Renegade's left off in a cliffhanger, so I'm really, really excited to get to this book and read it. I want to read this month. I just don't really want to spoil it because the first book would obviously spoil this, so anyway, I'm very, very excited to read this. I'm really excited to read this, and hopefully I will be able to read the third book also before the year ends. The next book that I got is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig? I don't know. And I've also heard really great reviews about this. When I went to get this at Barnes, well, I wasn't even planning on picking it up, and then it was like buy one, get one 50% off. So that's why I got it. And I heard really great things about it, and like this cover just gives me fall vibes, like November. I can read this while like it's raining outside, so I'm really, really excited to read this. So this book follows Elizabeth? I don't know. And basically there's this mist that if you get it, I think you die. Like, if like there's kind of like a poisonous mist going around, and I think she survived it, and you have to get like 12 artifacts to get the mist. I don't know. Yeah, she calls him Nightmare, blah blah blah, he protects her. Yeah, so I believe she pairs up with the king's nephew to find all of like the 12 items that they need to find. I've heard really great things about this, and I really want to read this soon, especially in like the winter fall time. So yeah. Next one is The Stars Are Dying by Chloe C. Pinierda? I don't know. I literally have no idea what this book is about. I'm gonna be fully honest. I bought this on a whim. I saw one person talk about it on TikTok, and I said, I want to read it. And then I saw it on Goodreads again, and it was like in the top rated, so I said, I'm gonna buy it without even knowing what it's about. And that's where you know I have a book problem, because I will literally buy every book that comes up on my For You page. I really don't know what this is about, but I feel like this is one of the books I'm just gonna go into blind. and see what happens, but I have heard really great things about this, so I definitely will be reading it, even though I have no idea what it's about. Alright, and another book I got for the buy one, get one 50% off is The Grace Year by Kim Leggett. And basically these girls, I think her name's Grace, Tierney. Okay, so basically these girls, when they turn 16, they go into the grace year and no one talks about it and no one knows what happens, but it basically prepares them to get like a husband, very dystopian, and I have heard like kind of mixed reviews on this. I feel like some people have said it's really disturbing, but you know, I love a good disturbing book sometimes. So yeah, so Tierney goes in and she realized that there's a lot to fear about it because no one talks about what happens. So I'm really interested to see what this book is about. Like the covers gives off like a false persona that like it looks really girly and fun, but I heard it's really disturbing. So all right, next is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. And so basically this girl Kiva, she is a prison healer, and the rebel queen comes in and she has to heal her for like these trials that are going on, and basically she switches places with the rebel queen. I heard this book is really slow in the beginning and then really fast. The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. And so basically this girl Kiva, she is a prison healer, and the rebel queen comes in and she has to heal her for like these trials that are going on, and basically she switches places with the rebel queen. I heard this book is really slow in the beginning and then really fast at the end and gives like a really big cliffhanger. So I'm really excited to read this. I feel like I have to be in like the mood for like reading something that's going to be slow in the beginning and then fast at the end, because sometimes I just wanted to pick up the pace. So I'm going to have to read this when like I have time and able to keep on reading without wanting to put it down and DNF it. So I have heard really great things about this book too, and I think this is also a trilogy. So I'm really excited to read this, and this will also, I will be reading in the fall. Next is The Long Game by Elena Armez. She wrote The Spanish Love Deception. Basically, this is about a girl who has to go to a small town. She basically meets this guy, and he's an ex, like, super soccer guy, whatever that's called. This is just, like, a simple romance, and with, like, all the fantasy that I have and, like, dark academia books, I felt like this would be, like, a really good, quick read. I didn't love her other books. I liked the American Roommate book better than The Spanish Love Deception. So we'll see how this one is. But there's a little cat on it, and that's very cute. Alright, and this is one of my most anticipated reads of the year, is Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I have read every single book by Alice Feeney, and I love all of them. Her plot twists are just so insane. There is a crime that happens where a baby is taken from a stroller, and years later, Edith, I think, is the mom. Yeah, so Edith is an older lady that gets put into like a retirement home with one of the workers' patients, and patients she figures out is lying and has to get her daughter involved, Cleo. And I know Alice Feeney's books always have like a plot twist, and I know somehow like this will all be connected. But I'm really, really excited to read this. And also, like, her thrillers are just so fast paced that I can read them in just like a couple of days, and it doesn't take me too long. So this will also be like a really nice book to have in between all the 500-page books that I have. All right. The next book is The Girls in the Still House by Kelly Mustang. I don't know what this book is about. My mom said it was kind of like Where the Crawdads Sing. And I read that book back in like 2020 when I first started reading. But this is also a book I am hoping to finish while I'm here, but we'll see about that. Anyway, that's it for today's haul. I have accumulated a lot of books over the last couple weeks, which was very bad on my part because now I can't bring them back with me. Well, I can bring some of them back, but not all of them. Yeah, I'm really excited to read all these books, and a lot of them are fall reads, which I'm really excited about, to start getting into the fall mood and start reading fantasy. There's a lot of other books that I really want to read. Like, I want to read the Throne of Glass series not this month, but probably in October. So yeah, I have a lot more books. I kind of want to just buy the box set for that one because I know I'll end up liking it because I like that guitar. So yep, that's it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!